Shooter ready. Stand by.
So, Max, we've talked a little bit about this kind of the software of concealed carry and self-defense and things like that, but let's dig into the hardware a little bit. So, in your opinion, what are the most important features in a carry gun?
So my pistol choice is going to have to be concealable, number one. Obviously, that's the whole point of this, right? I don't want to be able to show the world what I have. I want to keep it to myself. So it's going to have to be a small enough gun that's concealable. But then that brings a set of its own challenges. The smaller the gun, typically the more difficult it is to shoot.
Right.
You know, if I'm being honest completely, the smaller guns are just more difficult to handle. Sometimes you might be less accurate with it, sometimes you might feel more recoil with it, whatever the case is. So number one is going to be concealability, but then it also has to be shootable as well. So shootability is a big part of that. And then from there I kind of look at the round count, what type of round it is. Nowadays, you know, the bullets and the projectiles that we're seeing, they're so great. You know, I remember a time when I wanted a 40. Or, you know, you wanted a 45, right? You know, you're like, I gotta have this, I need to have that knockdown power. But now the projectiles are just so incredible these days. So I'm looking for that 9mm that's going to give me more round capacity, that allows me the ability to have more in the gun should I need it, but also have that same concealability as well as shootability as well.
So we talked about the important features in a concealed carry handgun. So can you talk a little bit about what you consider to be the important features in a concealed carry holster, since that's what we do here?
I think there's a few things that I look at personally. You know, comfortability is number one for me. It has to be comfortable. Obviously concealment is a big part of that too, and then durability. So those are kind of the three things that I look at as a whole. You know, what does the product offer for me? And kind of the attention to detail that Galco puts into their products is incredible. So, you know, being associated with that brand has been a dream. But that's kind of what I'm looking for first, the comfortability side of things, because if it's not comfortable, and I think everyone at home as well will probably relate to that, you can have this amazing gun, this great holster, but if you put it on your body and it doesn't feel right, and you get in the vehicle and you don't like it, or you get on to the dinner table and you don't like it, or whatever the case is, you're not going to wear it. And that's our number one goal.
Absolutely.
I think, as instructors and as holster makers and as people trying to help out the rest of the community. If you don't want it, then find something that's going to be more comfortable for you, number one, because if it's not comfortable, you're not going to wear it. And then, as I mentioned, the concealment side of things, depending on what you're wearing, there's several options that Galco offers, obviously, that's going to be able to fit whatever need you have, from ankle holsters to, you know, anything, you know, inside the waist, outside the waist,
Yep.
whatever you might, you know, the fanny packs, whatever might fit your need that day best. But for me, as a whole, it's going to be those items that we talked about, kind of that comfort, you know, that concealability, and obviously the durability.
Yeah, Max, it's interesting that you talk about, you know, how different holsters work for different people. And one of the concepts we have here at Galco is what we call a holster wardrobe. And by that, we mean that you should probably have a couple of different holsters, even if it's just for the same gun. But that will enable you to stay armed at all times. You know, if you maybe one day you might need to carry in an ankle holster where you prefer to carry in an appendix holster. One day you might need to carry in a belt holster, etc. But it's important to have a selection of holsters so that you can do exactly what you said, which is be armed all the time. Okay, so like I pin you down on a concealed carry gun, I'm going to pin you down on a Galco concealed carry holster, or whichever ones you like the best. So we've got a selection here. So if you want to talk about these and what you like about each one.
Yeah, so for me, it goes to that comfort, concealability, kind of durability, all those items that I'm looking for. And what I kind of gravitated towards mostly, and being in the South, I'm typically in t-shirt and shorts, you know? So kind of what I gravitated mostly is the quick tuck cloud here. This kind of is that hybrid type of a feel, you know, where you get kind of that comfortability that I'm looking for, but it also has more of that shell, so I can get the gun in and out as quickly as possible. And something that I failed to mention earlier in the training side of things is a lot of what we do in the concealed carry world is, you know, we obviously are carrying to protect our loved ones and ourselves. But are we going to have to use that every single day? We're probably not coming out of the holster very often, but once you start training, you're going to be going back into the holster quite a bit, and kind of having that ability to go into the holster safely, looking it in the entire time as I'm doing that. I do like this. It gives me the ability to have that comfort that I'm looking for, but at the same time, kind of that Kydex feel of going in and out of the holster as well. So I do like that. Most days I'm carrying this. But then the Stuck on You is another one of my go-tos. If I just want to have a little pocket gun or something to throw into my pocket or whatever it is, it's nice to have that ability to keep the gun upright in the pocket. You know, I'm yep. Preaching to the choir here, but, you know, keeping it upright in the pocket, and as I draw the pistol out of the holster, it stays in my pocket and the gun comes out, the holster doesn't come out with it. but it's just an easy, safe way to kind of keep it in my body, in my pocket. And there's a lot of times I'll honestly leave it in my vehicle in the Stuck On You. Just kind of, if I need it, I grab it and throw it in there. And if I don't need it while I'm driving, it's there if I have to have it. So those are kind of my two go-tos at the moment. But what do you have here?
Well, over here we've got, this is our new Paragon 2.0. It is an improvement on the original Paragon design, which is really optimized as an appendix carry Kydex holster. So you've got the two clips, Kydex construction, and you've got that stabilizing claw that's can be very, very helpful when you're, particularly when carrying in the appendix position. But yeah, this is a new improved version for this year, and we're really happy with this. And we even make it for some SIGs, if you can imagine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do.
And for the guys who want to carry outside the waistband, this is our probably our best-selling Kydex outside the waistband holster, and this is our Corvus. It's been in the line for a number of years, and it's done really well for us. You got the raised sweat guard, you got the belt loops in the back. Again, full Kydex construction. And again, for an outside the waistband holster, this thing is awesome. You can also, if you want, convert it with the included belt loops to carry it inside the waistband. I did want to get back to the comfort features you were talking about on this Quick Tuck Cloud, though. As it turns out, I carry this one's big brother, the King Tuck Cloud, as my everyday carry. And, you know, like you said, you live in Louisiana, it's hot, it's humid, all that. You know, we don't get the humidity here in Arizona, but we definitely get the heat.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, this comfort cloth that we've been using for the last couple of years, you know, I have just been converted to this design. And again, I use, like I said, just the slightly bigger version of this for my everyday carry, but literally the most comfortable IWB holster I've ever worn. So yeah, I can totally understand why you gravitate to that one.
For sure.
So Max, we've talked a lot about concealed carry, carrying guns. What are your thoughts on carrying spare ammunition? You know, should everybody carry spare ammunition? Is it optional? Is it mandatory? What are your thoughts on that?
So I think the extra ammo is going to be kind of a personal preference thing. I can say this, if you're in a situation and you run the gun and the slide is locked back, you're going to wish you had that spare mag, right?
Absolutely.
I think that at that moment, it would be the, you know, kind of that do or die moment for me. That would be like, I wish I had this extra mag on me. But that kind of goes to also what you're running, what type of pistol you have. If you have a pistol that only holds 5 or 6 rounds and some of these small kind of handguns, kind of pocket guns, I would highly recommend having a spare magazine. If you're holding 15 rounds in your carry gun, you know, maybe you can get away with not always having a spare mag. But kind of my golden rule is if I'm going to carry a gun, I try to have a spare mag with me, whether it be in my vehicle or on my person at all times. So that way, if I ever needed to have it, I could get back to the vehicle for whatever reason. If I was out somewhere with my family, I know I have a spare mag in there, but I typically try to carry a spare mag with me personally every moment. But again, it goes back to what you have. I think it's a lot more critical if you're running a small 380 of some kind that might only have 5 or 6 rounds in the gun. I wouldn't feel as comfortable with only having that amount of ammo with me. If you're running a 15 round, you know, 365 or an X compact, something like that, maybe you feel a little bit better about that. But it goes back to it, you know, you wish if you needed it, you wish you had it, kind of a thing. So if there's a way to conceal that extra spare mag some kind of a way, and maybe we can get into that here in just a little bit about what Galco offers, I think that would be a great option.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you bring that up. It's one of my friends once told me that he's never talked to anybody who was in a gunfight who wished he had less ammo.
Right.
So, but you know, to your point though, Galco does offer many different ways to carry that spare ammunition, spare mag. You know, everything from inside the waistband mag carriers, which are going to be more concealable, belt mounted, which might be a little bit faster or more comfortable. We even have stuff that'll allow you to carry a spare mag on your ankle if you're carrying in an ankle holster or you just need a more concealable place to put your spare mag. So there are lots and lots of options in terms of carrying spare ammo. And then, of course, there's the sort of ultimate grab-and-go gun and spare ammo option, which is the shoulder rig that Galco has made since the very beginning. It's kind of the thing that put us on the map, but it's really handy. You know, you can just shrug on your shoulder system. You've got your pistol, you've got your spare ammo. And in fact, when I was in Afghanistan in 2007, that's pretty much what I wore around the FOB. Not when I was outside the wire or anything, but it was just super convenient when you're on the FOB to be able to just shrug that on. I've got my M9, I've got 2 spare mags, I've got a Surefire flashlight. So that is just a very, very convenient way to do it.